confusing if you see like the timer start like way before you actually hit A.
Yeah, I can understand that. Or maybe just reaction time, because in a race scenario, it actually starts on its own.
Yeah, that's true too.
So moving into this, we got the back-to-back races. Same guidelines here, same rules. We got the. It's still a single elimination, best of one. So this is for all the marbles. Except, it's just moving on to the next round. So the winner's not winning everything. The winner's not winning everything. I realize that
it's for a couple of the marbles. We're starting out small.
It's for a few more marbles. And just pushing them to your side of the table. Not taking all of the marbles. Just a few. But the other guy, all his marbles go away. This metaphor is falling flat. I should just switch to a new one.
Yeah, a little bit. Pretty much identical going into Frog Room. Hopefully it stays this tight throughout the whole race.
So given what they said about their PBs in chat, I can't go by what's on the leaderboard, so I don't know what OhHeyItsDavid's seconds are, but I'm assuming it's anywhere. So we're just gonna say it's anywhere from a minute to 30 seconds between the two of these people. So I'm ready for a close match.
Yeah, both of them opting to go up the right side up the hill too, so it'll be interesting to see if they go for Sphinx or not, because if you don't go for Sphinx you need those coins, but some people still prefer to go to the right even if they do Sphinx.
So yeah, the two of them are very close together. I wasn't expecting much of a difference at this point, so good to see that no runners choking just yet.
Right, this is getting kind of eerie how like frame even these guys are.
Just a little bit, yeah. Oh, 1:11:28. So okay, that's a pretty solid minute almost. Difference between the two of them. Okay. Still very fun to see. Oh, that cutscene is in sync. That cutscene was frame perfect together. Yeah, it's getting scary.
Are we sure that they aren't running the same feed?
Yeah, they're cheating. Okay,
right.
You go.
David makes it. Oh, misses the trampoline first time. Slight reset up. GoronJackson makes it up the first try. And David's right behind him.
Yeah, so that's gonna cause a bit of a gap now. So GoronJackson taking the lead. The first definitive lead, first lead that we can officially declare of this race. I wouldn't call it definitive just yet, though. Goron taking a good amount of damage. Getting on to 1 health. Allowing OhHeyItsDavid to catch up a little bit.
Yeah. See, fortunately with multi-moons you don't lose time for taking damage, but
okay, I'm getting the moon on top of the cliff, and we're gonna be out of here. So I probably won't give it as many explanations about certain glitches, because I'm assuming it's the same viewers that we had from the first race, so you guys know what's gonna happen. But I will say, we are moving on to Sand Kingdom now.
yep, the first major divergence of routes. Probably like 5 or 6 moons that could be gotten one way or the other, depending on what you feel like doing.
Although, considering the times of most people in these brackets, they're probably going to go for the fastest route. It's one of 3 routes at this point, honestly. It's either the fastest route with Sphinx Clip, so like the current route that is done in any percent, in world record any percents for Sand Kingdom, doing that same route but without Sphinx Clip, and then doing the faster route if you know you're not going to do Sphinx Clip. So it's slower than the first one I mentioned, but faster than the second one. Yeah, so it seems the sinking is only like it seems the commentator curse is only happening in chat, because it was yet to really happen in while we were commentating in the last race. So chat, don't say anything.
Both getting second ground pound.
And both getting the movement to get the moon on top of the archway here. Chat, you can still say things, just don't say anything about the synchronization. It went silent. Goron getting the sand text box.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I had now some good icicle climbing. Goron's gonna have to wait for another bullet bill to shoot out of here for some bullet bill manipulation. And there's the bullet bill that was following him.
Well, it looks like one or both of these runners will be heading towards Sphinx and maybe, hopefully, doing Sphinx Clip. I'd like to see at least one go for it. Looks like David's gonna stick with the safety route.
I'm just gonna ask some questions. And Goron also going to ask some questions. Or answer some questions, rather. Answer the quiz. Which means we don't have to worry about... Oh, okay. Oh, hey, David. It's David bonking there. So we don't, but we do not have to worry about coins for this run at all.
Nope. We're gonna say GoronJackson already has 240, and OhHeyItsDavid is gonna have over 200 once he gets the chest next to Jaxie. So both of them are pretty much set to go.
Oh, hey, it's David. Just keeps bonking. I'm just gonna call you David from now on. It's way too many syllables. David is bonked a bit there on the stairs. Let's see how well his Jaxie skip's gonna be. Our two runners are pretty close together at this point.
Alright, David first up goes for the corner, makes it up no problem at all. Jackson also goes for the corner. Oh no. Fortunately, since he did do Sphinx, he's not going to be too far away, but it's still a bit of a rough journey to get back over there.
Right. So you could have grabbed the checkpoint before doing that. That checkpoint is actually not too hard of a grab right there at the top. Yeah, now he's going to get it. A thing to remind people of doing. Now, I mean, we took a bit of a break because of GDQ, but a thing that I was saying before that you definitely should keep in mind is you always got to go for those checkpoints in these races. Any checkpoint that you pass by, just get it. Just in case. You don't know when you're going to die.
Yeah, and it's not like when you're doing runs where you can just hit that reset button and try again. It is, you have to go. You have to keep going, and no matter how bad it gets, there's not really much stopping to be done.
So I don't know if any other runners are in the chat, but keep that in mind. Remember that rule. It's very important. So moving on to Lake Kingdom here.
Not too much going on here, and pretty much everyone gets the same moons. Couple of kind of difficult jumps, but nothing terribly bad.
Apparently, this roll towards this moon is actually harder than I thought. But no big deal, of course. Bonk is a bonk. You lose a couple seconds, but you could recover pretty quickly from it. Jackson accidentally capturing some Goombas on the way up that wall.
Yeah, they can definitely find their way into your line of fire. David having no issues with the cheap jump up to the boss area.
I want to see how good of a Rango fight he gets.
Yeah, it's the only one
Nails
we get to see.
Nails the second hit, and there's the third hit. Well done, getting that quick kill. But GoronJackson is close behind as he goes into the Rango fight just now.
Yep. Also had no issue getting up to the boss area. David with the text box at the end of Lake too. Right, next up we have Wooded Kingdom, another one of the longer ones. And the infamous Flooded Pipeway.
Yes, and the not so infamous, but still very difficult P-switchless jump.
David carrying the rock all the way over to the rabbit. I mean, I guess if you need it, just in case, it's not a bad idea.
I believe there.
Oh.
No, he was. I mean, it was the wrong rock, but it, I believe he was trying to break it on the bunny. I have yet to see it, but I think it is possible to do it. Someone else is saying that it's possible to do it. So
interesting. I'll have to check that out.
But if he did end up breaking it, it would have been a bad time because he would have broken the only rock that would have been able to break the other rock. You would just have to throw it around for a bit. I believe there is another rock somewhere in that area.
Yeah, there is another one a little bit closer towards the entrance to Sphinx area, but
it's still like, it's still a time loss.
Yeah, it's out of the way.
Break the wrong rock. So David getting our first in our series of nuts and going for the second one now.
He's also opting to go for maze and checkpoint first and then coming back for pipe afterwards.
It's honestly personal preference. Just because if you don't like them doing the movement up the mountain.
Yeah, it can be a little rough for sure.
I mean, there is that risky jump that he just did there. Where
Yeah,
if you fail that jump, you're ending up in Lostwood, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've never seen someone go off the railing for that before, and definitely wouldn't be my personal choice.
No, you do not want to end up in the woods below. Because that is one of the few areas that we interact with that you could actually lose a significant amount of time if you were to go in there. Not just a death.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Zinpars, I forgot the actual name of it, so I just called it Lost Woods for a bit. I've been out of this game for a bit. Sorry. Getting our nut around the corner. Oh!
David fortunately falls down. There's a checkpoint like right there, so he doesn't really lose too much time, but...
Yes, the bonks keep happening.
So it does give GoronJackson a chance to catch back up after that rough ending to sand.
Oh, I'm just gonna say now, my apologies from the previous for getting this from the to the runners from the previous race, but always be sure to give these racers follows. You can also give us follows if you want as well.
But don't.
But don't. We suck. But yeah, you can be sure to give these racers follows. I don't know if, I mean, they were around in chat, but they all stream. Oddmay's a good one to Oddmay's good to follow, of course, and I'm sure the smaller runners would appreciate it later as well. Yes, there is a command, but it's set to the current runners, not the ones who were running in the last race. But you can also follow these runners too.
Jackson almost falling down in that same spot, but luckily makes it back up.
Oh, it's called Deep Woods. Thank you, Zip Cars. It's really helpful. Okay. So a good time for this. A good time for this category is probably around a 110. A rusty one for being rusty, a 120. That's not terrible, but it's not good either. So,
David starting his first Spirit fight. Spirit, one of the two Brutals that we actually get to see more than once. But he's also the easiest one to deal with, so.
Yep. And he doesn't change no matter how many times we encounter him. Just the environment around him.
His projectile vomit gets a little bit stronger.
I expect the race time, I mean, it's hard to say right now, but the last one, they were both around, they were just a bit over, they were in the 110 to 120 range. You know, oh hey, I'm forgetting the other guy's name already. I just did this. Bry Guy got a 113 something, so I don't expect it to go more than that.
Yeah, so generally in a race, regardless of what game it is, you want to be aiming to get around maybe 5% over whatever your PB is. So in the case of Odyssey, that's usually like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yep. So both of these runners with PBs of 110 and 111, so probably not looking more than a 115 total for this full race. Okay, so we're gonna be moving over to Metro Kingdom, right? That's where we're going, right?
Yeah, that's what the map says.
Yeah, clearly.
I know Google Maps never steers me wrong, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Totally weren't spoiled by the previous race or anything about where we're going next instead.
It's a little bit cloudy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
might be forecasting some rain. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. We are expecting some rain in Metro nighttime, so maybe that's where we are. Bowser, what are you doing here? Oh, okay. I think we're just doing a Bowser fight.
David does a good job of getting that first hit in, though. Say getting that little grab on the hat right away is not always easy.
And he's also going for an alternate way of grabbing that hat early. Typically, you want to try to get it before. I mean, the optimal way is to get it before he even throws it at this point. But he's going for another way of getting it before, having it launched towards him while he's already there.
Yeah, see, it's a little safer and easier, but it's definitely like about a second or so slower, just because you pretty much instantly grab the hat if you do it the best way.
And it is also riskier than the method that OhHeyItsDavid just had to do as a backup there.
Yeah, see, unfortunately he was a little bit too far away from Bowser when he got the hat, so he couldn't cancel out that jumping phase.
Yeah.
GoronJackson again with a little bit more of a chance to catch up.
Yes, yeah, it looks like he was able to get that trick there of getting the hat before it launches out.
Yep, GoronJackson having a pretty solid Bowser fight.
Yep, taking a hit, but that's no big deal. Yet again, we're at a multi-moon state. Actually, this isn't a multi-moon at all. But
yeah, but you
don't get any moons for being this, but you do get, you do regain your health.
David taking care of that meme tree, no problem whatsoever.
Now he just doesn't have. Now he just has to not choke during the rest of these moons.
Yeah, last moon is 2 minutes, but it's 2 minutes of frantic trying not to die.
Yep.
GoronJackson making it out just fine as well. Nicely done. Oh, it does scare the butterfly away, but as long as it goes off camera, he goes off camera with it, it should be spawning back up. There it goes.
Yep. Hard to say. Hard to say. Oh, gets the movement wrong for getting this one-in-one explosion. That's a bit unfortunate.
Alright, opting to go for the busting open the cage rather than doing a stone cage. It's fine, and now it's just a matter of getting that under the bridge moon. Oh, fortunately dies. He doesn't have to do meme tree again, but it's still a pretty significant time loss. Though he is going to opt to do it. Yeah, just to be safe, he is going to go ahead and disable Klepto again. Because triggering that cutscene is really, really rough on your time. As opposed to just going around and taking care of it. It does allow GoronJackson to sneak into the lead, though.
Okay, my apologies. I went silent there so that I could find the Twitch channels for these for the two from the last race, so that they can get a nod. Because I'm sorry for missing out on doing that. Like everyone here in these races deserves a follow. I just sent those links in chat.
GoronJackson currently with about an 8-second lead. Not really much to speak of there. You know, going into Metro, we're still pretty early on in the run. Not even at the halfway point yet, and there's a lot of hard tricks up ahead. So.
So, dude, am I wrong in saying that Goron retook his lead here, or was he continuously in the lead?
No, he picked up his lead while you were getting the links. OhHeyItsDavid died doing the bridge moon and lost. And then to make sure he didn't accidentally activate Klepto, he went around and deactivated Klepto again.
Oh, so, okay, so yeah, that causes a good amount of time loss there.
Yeah.
See, Goron diving into that checkpoint now, good choice. Even though it's still just a short time, and now once you go inside this building, your respawn point is that door that you went through. It's still just a good idea to grab him. Yeah, I want to make sure that you don't lose as much all the time that you've just gained, all that time that you just worked so hard for.
Fortunately, David bonking on his way up. For whatever reason, doing that can kind of mess with Mario's state to where it won't let him wall kick or anything, which is pretty annoying if you ask me. So while David did get ahead briefly with his way up City Hall, he also lost it just as quickly. So, I mean, it just shows you how dynamic these runs can be in terms of who's winning and who's behind.
Yeah. And it also doesn't feel like it. Like, it also... I always feel like Town Hall is taller than it actually is, but it's a pretty short area. So a bonk, like, given how long it takes to recover from a bonk, that time can bring you all the way down to the bottom. Like, before you have a chance to do anything. So you see that David had to fell all the way down to the bottom of that section and had to work his way back up. Which takes a very long time.
Yep. Jackson entering second phase of Wiggler, just about. And then we'll get to see if anyone does happen to mess up and have to do 3 cycles, or if we're going to see a couple of 2 cycles.
Yeah, we saw a 3 cycle last race, but hopefully that doesn't happen this time.
A couple of tricky spots due to location. But he does get it nicely done by Jackson. David up now, a couple more shots. Oh, that was really odd. Okay, never mind. Are you good?
You got it. We're fine.
So, both 2 cycles, nicely done by both runners. Jackson still holding on to his short lead.
So I'm going to calculate it. 3120 for GoronJackson on that black wipe. Wipe to black. And 3129 for David. So still a very close race.
Right, so interesting tricks to see if they go for day Metro. Scooter clip will be probably one of the bigger ones. And then, let's see, GoronJackson getting that Cappy homing onto the pylon just fine, and so does David. Jackson going for scooter clip. While David tries to go for the safer capture strat. Jackson does get the clip though.
So yeah, it allows David to catch up a little bit as he was having to... as he had to go into recovering from it after messing it up the first time. And you can see now how close together they are, even, like getting even closer.
Yeah, so about 2 or 3 seconds at this point.
Yeah, hopefully we get some switches between who's in the lead, some more ones at least, because that's what always makes it exciting.
Yo, do you think we could get some in sync OTEP?
That would be insane. But I do want to see some people rooting here. I know we were saying in the last race that you always root for the person who's ahead, but with people this close, it's more of who's a fan of who. So, what do we got in the chat? Who are you guys rooting for? I, of course, as a commentator, have to be unbiased. Got some good movement going on.
Yeah, so I would think a good theme so far for this is that GoronJackson seems like a little bit more of a consistent runner, whereas David is using some more of those dangerous but fast strats. Who almost falls off of it, makes a really cool recovery. Nicely done.
Oh, Goron taking the risky ground pound. Not getting it. And now we are really close together.
A bonk is what separates these two at the moment.
Yep.
Dude, we might actually get that in sync OTEP at this rate.
Dude, stop talking about it. You're gonna jinx it.
hope neither of them are watching the stream right now, because if I were watching the stream right now and I was one of them, I would be freaking out and probably choking.
Hi.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Oh, sorry, the yows. That was a pretty close yow. But I want some overlapping OTEPs. Like, come on. Enable the audio for both streams. just for a bit.
I don't normally root against people, but I really hope Jackson loses just about a second here on his way to OTEP. Almost OTEP. Yay. I would say this is close enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's very close.
We get the synchronized cutscenes. We're good.
Yeah, Goron taking the lead now. Oh wait, I'm stupid. Goron's always had the lead. I've just been going. I've just been going. I went by sound for a second. Right, they're so close that they never switch the sound. But yeah, Goron maintains the lead.
It's your second race. It's all right. You have a solid excuse.
Thank you. It's also late. It's 11 o'clock.
That is also true. And as we mentioned before, both of them had plenty of coins, so there's no need to go to Seaside first.
So yeah, one text box behind each other at this point. So moving over to Captain Toad now.
Alright, and we see David taking the lead for the moment. We'll see how long it lasts, given how close they are.
Again, their snow's even in the same shape.
Yeah, see, Jackson has a little bit taken off the left that David doesn't, but... this is actually kind of insane.
Yeah.
Still less than a bonk away from each other.
This is where movement really comes into
yeah. There's a lot of kind of tricky movement in this level. So between the blustery area, going from the shop to that umbrella, I mean, there's a lot that can go right or wrong.
They just purchased the moon at the same exact time. This is insane.
So yeah, unfortunately the umbrella jump didn't go quite so well for David, so he falls behind again, but again, still just like a second or so.
I don't even care about leads at this point, I'm just watching them.
It'd be interesting to see like a graph of the lead changes of this. This is pretty fun, honestly.
That would take a lot of time.
Yeah, see, there we go. The bonk, and now he's behind.
This is crazy. So while this is a very close match, yeah, as Smallin to say, there are other races that were very close as well that you can go find, and those are on the Speed Gaming's YouTube channel if you want to go look for them.
Yeah, I believe there was a, I don't remember who it was. There was a race in groups where the difference was like 2 or 3 seconds. and
Yes.
they were both pretty good times too. So.
Yeah. And we also have the second game in this bracket that was also pretty close. I think this one's actually closer right now than the bracket than the one I'm talking about was, but still a good one to watch.
Ooh, Jackson unfortunately killing one of the Goombas by accident. Is gonna have to re-enter the area to get it to respawn. So depending on which Goomba dies, you could also just kind of move off screen a bit, but given which one it was, it's better just re-enter. David, meanwhile, taking the first double-digit second lead in the past kingdom or so.
I don't expect it to stay for too long.
No, not the rate we've been going. We're jumping all over the place, literally and in terms of time.
Oh, Neo already calling it. Calling a GG from that lead. A bit overzealous, I would think.
This lead has grown to be about 2 or 3 bonks rather than just one.
Oh,
It's actually
wow.
more
That's a
like
big lead.
time. Any percent world record is about 300 bonks, something like that. Probably
That
close
is
to
the
like
new
1,000.
official measurement of Mario Odyssey. So, like, how many bonks away? On a scale from 1 bonk to 10 bonks, how hype are you of this race currently?
I would say I'm at about 10.5 bonks right now.
Oh, damn. That's a lot of bonks. I want to see the leaderboard change to be measured in bonks for now on. I'd say I'm at an 11 bonks right now as well. Yeah, 10.5, 11 bonks as well. Oh, even chat's joining in. We got at least 7 bonks of hype. We got 8 bonks of hype. 97 bonks of hype. That's a lot of hype.
That aside, we are in Seaside. Quick 10 moons. Not really a whole lot of route changes to see here either. Just mostly just movement options.
Yes, getting that triple jump up for the first moon is fairly difficult. At this point, David's got a good lead, for now at least.
Yeah, I'd estimate. I haven't a hard time to get or anything, but I'd say it's probably around like 25 seconds.
I'll see if I can get a good estimate. He had a nice voice crack. He had a 43.59 at ground pounding the Gushin. So yeah, about 20-25 seconds, somewhere in that range. So I would put that at a good
That's about 10.5 bonks.
Yeah, it's about 10.5 bonks. Yeah, I was trying to get the calculation in my head.
Unlike Bitcoin, bonks are doing perfectly fine on the market today.
Yep. We'll have to check in on those later. Well, you're very good at that bonk calculator. You're gonna be a residential bonk calculator from now on.
Well, you got to be pretty adept at bonking to be able to do those calculations, and I, for one, am really good at doing it.
I don't know if that's something to celebrate.
Yeah, well, you know. David getting the 10th moon, and Jackson moving on to the 9th right now. Still not too much of a difference between the two from earlier. And then we have probably one of the more painful kingdoms in the game, Luncheon.
But I guess you can, yeah. Never heard it called that before. The last full kingdom. But it makes sense. I mean, we go through Bowser's kingdom.
Yeah, it was just one of the later painful ones. Given that there are some things that can easily go wrong, or some easy time losses, like the lava bubble jump, or we'll see if one of them goes for a cheese skip.
Yeah. Oh, is that the official name for it at this point? I've been calling it Pan Bro clip.
I think we call it cheese skip. I could be wrong though. It's only been around for a few days.
Yeah.
Jackson opting for the triple jump to make it up does make it a little bit easier, even though it's a little bit slower.
Yeah,
and
David,
we get our second spirit fight.
Yeah, and David shortening that bonk gap that we have. And Jackson taking the same bonk.
Yeah, takes damage too, unfortunately. The good news is that there are hearts to be had in that spirit fight, so he can still replenish his health and not take that little bit of penalty from healing once he gets the moon. But
very well done in that spirit fight from David. Oh,
interesting method of grabbing the moon there, but hey, we all have our own ways of doing it.
Yeah, totally intentional. That was the way he meant to grab it.
For the viewers.
Yes. And David taking the safer strat up this wall.
David opting to do a down throw to break that back. Normally, what runners do is they go on that second building and then turn around and do a throw and then homing to get it. But I mean, down throw works pretty well too.
Yeah. That movement by Jackson there to recover is pretty cool to see. I'm impressed. I'm impressed that he knew where you could stand on that wall.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to know. Having fallen there a few times as well, it's saved my life a couple of times. Jackson doing the down throw there as well. Maybe it's faster and I just don't know.
It seems like it could be faster because the homing part of the cap doesn't happen until the end, and it's not always guaranteed to hit the box. Good Kobe into the stew.
David getting those lava bubble jumps just fine. We'll see if he goes for a cheese skip right here. Looks like he's gonna opt out and go the normal way for now. Cheese Scoop does save, I want to say it was around 8 or 10 seconds, if done optimally. Maybe
Really?
even more than that, depending.
I didn't even know it was that large.
Yeah, because you skip this whole switch cutscene, and then you don't have to walk the pan bro all the way over to the cheese rock.
It's a very good point. I didn't even think of that part.
Yeah, I mean generally it's not going to save you quite that much time unless you get like a really good setup from far away, but it can save time. Also of note, I think David didn't go for forks, did he?
No, he's gonna do lava bubble room.
Ooh. So we get to see Jackson do forks on the right. There'll be a little bit of a disparity until towards the end of the level when both of them have done their special rooms. Lava Maze is like a couple of seconds slower, but I mean, if you're considerably better at it than you are at forks, then by all means go for it.
Yeah, the movement in this room is kind of risky, though. At least in the forks room, you don't really have a chance to die.
Alright, we'll see if Jackson goes for... Oh, that was really nicely done by David. Jackson opting not to go for cheese skip as well. Again, it is a pretty recent trick, so it's not terribly surprising that people aren't going to go for it just yet, because if you do screw it up, it's going to possibly screw you out of a lot of time. Does Valor do the cheese skip? I believe he does, yeah. I'm pretty sure he did in his 104.
And everyone's favorite capture, becoming a slab of meat. He even gets a giant mustache to boot.
I mean, I don't know about you, but for my hair to not be on the meat.
Yeah, I would think so, but if you are the meat instead of eating it...
I suppose.
Oh wow, GoronJackson Jackson nailing that triple jump up that wall.
Nicely done. See, there is a bit more of a lead here than what we had in the previous kingdoms, but still is not insurmountable by any means. A single death or a troublesome mecha could definitely set David back into second.
No, yeah, very true. The boss fights are the equalizer in these races.
Speaking of bosses, we have one of the most delightful and, well, I mean, side scroller, or not side scroller, but auto scroller-ish bosses.
Yeah, so Jackson's not going to have an opportunity to make up any time during this boss fight, but
I mean, maybe, you know, the dragon
maybe a little bit.
Can get the better of you sometimes.
Not as significant as the Mecha Brutal fight.
Technically, bonks can vary. If you bonk from high up, it can be quite a bit. If you bonk in water, that's mentioned, you have to take into account whether or not you're canceling the bonk with the jump, because you can cancel out that animation early.
He's just asking about the current exchange rate between bonks and seconds.
Oh, look, bonkonomics can change very wildly over the time of day.
Yeah, do you want me to go check on the leaderboards right now to figure out how much a bonk will lose you?
I mean, you can go for it. It might take a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to go calculate that average, but 2 seconds is a good estimate typically.
Very, very true, Neo. You also have to calculate, you know, how much time you lose by losing all that momentum that you just had. Yeah, there's fish bonks too. Fish bonks are only like a half a second or so. Clean fight from David.
Yes, and Jackson just taking a sweet time, showing how long we have to wait here, just being able to crouch walk during that sequence. Oh, Jackson not going to be able to go for the movement. Oh, wow. So wasn't able to do the damage boost to get here, but was able to land on that dragon at the last second. Well, really the first second that he was not going to get hurt by the lightning. So that was cool to see. Either he knew that pretty well, or he just got lucky. Okay, it looks like David's going for the homing cap on the Pokio. Hello? Am I here? Testing, testing. Okay, we can hear me. I wasn't sure if it was JKB who was disconnecting or me. Thank you for that. Okay, cool. I restarted my Discord for that, just to make sure. Okay, so it's JKB having a bit of problems here, but no problem. No matter here. We're just gonna progress through as we get towards the final two brutal fights. I take no sides on the Jake Paul, Logan Paul debate. They're both trash. End of discussion.
Alright, I think I'm good now too.
I can hear you now, JKB.
Alright, nice.
So David starting out with the Harriet fight. The easier of the two brutal fights, if I have to say so myself.
Yeah, say it's definitely a bit easier. Sometimes you can screw up the hitting back of the mine, but there's not really ever a danger of dying, so.
And Jackson taking the slower route to get that moon on top of the roof, and ends up taking some damage from the torch, unexpectedly landing on the fire.
David has to be a little bit careful here. He's only got 1 HP. Alright, makes it through the fight. No issues.
And Jackson is now going to go into this topper fight with 2 HP. Maybe he should have grabbed that checkpoint first, because that checkpoint would have healed him.
He might be A-okay. He gets the first hit just fine. Second hit's done. Doesn't quite get the third cancel. Oh, no, but he finds the hat right away. Yeah, doesn't really have any issue at all.
Maybe he's more confident in that fight than I thought than I would be. Which, for me, that is not at all. I am not confident in the slightest about that fight.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky one sometimes. David now making the climb up to Mecha Brutal.
Chat's memeing harder about bonks than we are, honestly, at this point.
I mean, it's a life lesson. Don't ever try to out-meme Twitch chat.
It's a good point. David nearly didn't have enough room to fling himself.
Jackson having a little bit of trouble with the Harriet fight, but looks like he's through.
Yeah, it's really going to be up to this Mecha Brutal fight to see if Jackson's going to be able to make up this time or not.
Yeah, I would say probably about 45 to a minute's different right now.
This is the moment of truth right here.
David making it up birdless, but will he be able to stay on? That's pretty much going to be the determining factor. Is if he falls down at all, it will give GoronJackson the chance to catch up. But
yes, getting the first 2 hits in pretty much perfectly, and stays on top for the 3rd hit. Getting ready for the 3rd hit. There it is, and now just to stay on top of the 4th one.
does make it up and gets the 4th hit. All that's really standing between him and a win is a moon skip and maybe a 2D skip.
I wouldn't even go for it at this point.
You gotta do it for the viewers. You gotta.
I guess. So yeah, that was a picture-perfect birdless Mecha Brutal. So Jackson has something to prove right now.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pull off the same thing if he wants even a chance at making it back into the lead. Gets birdless just fine. Makes it back up.
Yep, gets on top of the 2nd hit. Here's hit number 3. And gets on top for hit number 4. There you go.
Not quite as fast as David's, but still pretty fast. No real issues.
So these two players' PBs are about a minute apart. It's a 110 something to a 111 something.
David's on pace to maybe be able to even get a 110. It'll be really tight though, and he has to have like a pretty much perfect moon. But it is doable.
Yeah, certainly. I'm actually not even sure as the who's who of who has the 110 and who has the 111. I kind of forgot. It's been a bit since I last checked. And
I
it's
believe
also late.
David had the 111, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yep, okay, so David had the 111. Okay. So David currently on PB pace, so that, along with being in the lead, that is certainly hanging over his head right now as he messes up the first try on the moon skip.
Yeah, you do have to kind of take a deep breath and take your time with this trick, because if you screw it up once and you're already stressed, it can kind of tilt you a little bit. Does get it on the third or so try though, nicely done. Just one less thing standing in between him and a victory. Right, now he did do kind of slightly slower strats for the fight in Cloud Kingdom. We'll see if he goes for fast strats here.
It's all a matter of how lucky he feels.
Feeling lucky, punk. So one thing to point out that I don't feel like it's pointed out enough, so you can kind of make sure Bowser goes to certain spots in this fight, and often you want to have him go towards the little platforms that are slightly less off the ground than what the other ones are, just so that it's a little easier to jump on those hats.
I didn't even realize that they were different heights.
Yeah, so there's some of them that are like hardly up above the ground at all, and there's some of them that are pretty slanted.
Damn.
But yeah, for jumping up above the hats, or for just getting back up after you have the hat, it's nice to have the smaller platforms. Alright, David finishing up the fight. As long as this last bit goes well. Jackson entering the fight. See if he maybe goes for any difficult strats. Interesting angle to punch Bowser at.
Yeah,
But
I think
hey,
he just
works.
accidentally got some camera repositioning. And we're into our final sequence for David.
Jackson unfortunately taking a bit of damage there. David, meanwhile, about to enter the 2D section. We'll see if he goes for that skip or if he plays it safe. Might depend on if he has the stream up, or, I mean, if he had the stream up around Metro, he might be thinking about needing it. Ooh,
Oh!
unfortunately goes for it and dies. Jackson has a chance to catch up here.
Yeah, still in the middle of the Bowser fight, though.
Yeah, there's definitely still a bit of a buffer, but it's a little bit closer now.
Yeah, as Jackson is starting the last hit for Bowser here.
I would think that David's probably going to not go for it this second time. He might have felt, you know, the pressure on to maybe go for that PB or something, or maybe he just normally does it. But we'll have to see. If he messes it up again, it's dead even. Oh no, he doesn't go for it this time.
Yeah, he's gonna pass up on going for it the second time. Probably the smart move.
Yeah, definitely. Something weird could still happen in that last room, though. You never know. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, Jackson, on the other hand, has to go for the 2D skip if he wants any chance of catching up.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose.
And I'm gonna rock out as we go through, so as we go through this Sour Please worthy song.
Jackson goes for 2D skip.
Oh,
Gets it nicely done. Took him a moment, but he got it. David has 2 pillars down, 2 to go. One more. And then it's just the cube sitting between him and moving on it.
Oh my
no!
god! I didn't want to say anything about it.
No.
I was thinking it. I was totally thinking that he could die. And he did.
It's up to Jackson. This is Jackson's to lose now.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Just when you thought it was over.
So the camera in this room can definitely be hazy at best, but wow. GoronJackson, 1 more pillar to go, and then he's going to the center as well. Doesn't get that last shot. Has to try and snipe it, because it's not really safe for him to leave now. He's got to be careful. Alright, gets it. He's in the middle. As long as he doesn't take 5 damage, he's in the clear, I think.
Yeah, at this point there's no risk of falling off the edge. So that looks like it's gonna be Jackson taking it.
That is that's an ending, alright.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is truly showing that anything can happen in a race.
This is why you do not give up until it's over. I mean, that was the last pillar, last hit, everything. Wow.
David's still
GoronJackson with the 1:13.13.
Yeah, pretty good time considering PBs. David's still gonna be respectful and finish out the race, even though he's done at this point. It's still good to finish it out and, you know, just get that time. Even though I'm sure he's a bit tilted at this point.
Alright, we are going to see if we can get them in here for a quick chat.
So yeah, both runners saying feels bad, man.
Alright, looks like we got both of them in here. Welcome, you two.
What's up?
So I think you guys know how close you were in that ending sequence and what caused Jackson to win over David, so I'm just gonna let you two talk to each other. Talk it out here.
Well, I fell twice at the end.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. You guys were neck and neck up as late as, I believe around the beginning of snow, you guys were both pretty much within a second or so of each other. Both of them in here.
Oh, that's
Welcome.
crazy.
Yeah, sorry about that, David. That's
So I think you guys
that's
know how
unfortunate.
close you were in that ending sequence.
Nah, no
and what
worries, man. I
Jackson
choked
to
it,
win
man.
over David, so
Yeah, I had a pretty bad run
I'm
myself.
just gonna let
it's okay.
you two talk to each other. Talk
right,
It's
well-
cool that we were close though. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, go back and watch. At Metro, you guys had almost simultaneous OTEPs. That's how
Oh.
close you guys were.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, that's cool.
We were trying to get them to turn on audio for both your streams, just so that we could have both of them. Yeah, congrats to GoronJackson for moving on.
Thank you.
You're up to the round of 32. Is there anything you guys would like to say?
Duty skip is not real.
You got that right.
Don't take a 20-day long break. It doesn't help.
Yeah, no, that doesn't help either. I think Grand Pooh Bear was off for EGDQ as well, and he did a run earlier, and he got like a 120. So,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
yeah, he's pretty rusty too. It is. I mean, the game's been out only like 3 months now, so taking a 20-day break is literally a third of the game's lifetime. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely showed in my run. I did some silly things.
Okay. So yeah, good runs by both players here.
yeah, I say Dill's still definitely kept the run really interesting. Again, I mean, you guys were neck and neck. If we commented on it being a little odd how in sync you guys were just in Cascade, and then you guys both caught up to each other in Metro 2, we were all going nuts.
Oh man, I want to watch it now. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, so we were concerned that if one of you had the stream open, that you would be a little bit nervous with how close it was.
I had it open. I wasn't really looking at it though.
I figured that one of you might have been listening at least.
Yeah, I had commentary on, but I had the video going on in the background. So
All right, well, I don't believe we have any more matches tonight. We are still hopefully going to have a lot of the other matches over the next few days, because the deadline was supposed to be Sunday. I don't know if that's getting moved at all due to EGDQ, but I mean, that's when everyone's supposed to be done. So expect there to be quite a few more matches over the course of the next few days, especially the weekend.
Yes. The next one that we have scheduled is at 5 p.m. tomorrow. We actually have two matches at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. tomorrow. That is for all the people who are trying to figure out what time zone that is. That is Eastern Standard Time, first off, and since it's almost midnight here in Eastern Standard Time, I'm in the same time zone as the schedule. That would be at roughly 17 hours from now.
Well, you heard him, 17 hours. I mean, that's probably what, like, it's probably at least like 10,000 bonks right there.
Yes.
Something
Sounds
like
about
that. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching and chit-chatting. It was great having you all for a race or two if you stayed for both of them.
Remember to follow. Yeah, remember to follow all the people that were participating in this race. Racers, commentators, maybe, probably not, but racers especially.
Yeah, they say there are both of the stream links for the racers and for the commentators, so be sure to give them a follow. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, peace.
all right, thanks guys. See
guys.
ya.
Good racing to everyone. Good times. Good night.